welcome back to the Inner King Initiative. And one thing I like to preach is brotherhood. One thing I like to preach is having men around you who are willing to pour into you, willing to love on you, is to accept you for who you are and your faults, man. And good counsel, right? We have to have somebody in our corner or people in our corner who tell us when we're wrong, who tell us when we need to do better, right?
No,
or when we can, when we're trying to make a decision, sometimes we're like, oh, I'm just angry. I just don't want to do this or this. And somebody can come in and say, bro, chill out. My guess is that person for me, for real. Through all these years, man, we linked up, 2011, back in college. Yeah, we went to the military together.
2012, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, man, we went to the military together, bro. We were kids, bro. And now we're grown men. We're working in it. We both been through a lot, but we always been there for each other, no matter what. No matter if we've seen each other, and that's real friendship. Society has these rules on friendship that says, oh, you have to see your friends all the time. Like, I gotta hit you up and be able to see you the next weekend. But sometimes, you go your way, I go my way. And no further ado, let me introduce my guest, Michael Blackshire. How you doing, bro?
What's going on with it, man? What's happening?
Man, I'm loving life, bro.
I'm happy to be here, bro.
Yeah, glad to see you, bro.
It's been a minute, man.
It has, bro.
It's been a minute.
We haven't wrapped in a minute.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah. I think, what was that, 2024?
Oh, yeah.
I think that was it. I was out here for that car show.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I saw you. So,
man, it's been a minute.
You said in the beginning, man, friendship, hey, here, there, anywhere, it don't matter where we are. We still gonna keep.
Exactly.
Keep man.
We've been locked in for a minute.
Yeah.
But let them tell me a little about yourself, bro. Who you are, where you from?
For sure, man. Well, I'm coming from Louisiana, Shreveport to be exact.
Ratchet City, yeah.
You feel me? 318 the Great. You know what I mean? I love where I'm from, man. But currently I live in Dallas, the DFW area. Man, it has been a journey.
Absolutely.
I graduated from Grambling State.
The Grambling
State University, home of the world famed Tiger marching band.
Yep.
And the winningest head coach in football history.
Okay.
G. Robinson, senior. You feel me? I also spent some time in the military, which I have a love-hate relationship with.
Facts.
About that, one of the things that I really do appreciate is me good people.
Absolutely.
You to be specific, because you were like one of the first people I met.
I think we met a little bit before that, though.
In the RSP. I think it was like kind of where we just started like conversing. Like I saw you around.
Yeah.
But when we got to RSP, that's when we was like, okay, that's when we started talking. And then we ended up at AIT with each other. I think I was like a class ahead of you. So
you were a week ahead of me,
Yeah, so things went like that. I did that. I spent some time in New Orleans, which was even better. That was a great life experience. I don't know how much time we got for that, but we can talk about that one all day. And ultimately that led me to the DFW area. I've been in education for over 10 years. Actually, this is my 10th year, and currently I am a special education teacher at an alternative school, and I love what I do. I love my job. I love what I do. And I know the attitude in general about education, it is what it is. But for me personally, I like what I do. I like where I work, and I like who I work with.
And I got to commend you, bro, because being a black man and showing up in an educational space, a lot of men not willing to do it because of the pay. But the impact is better.
And the thing about it is, studies show that for every student that has a black male educator, the more black male educators that a student has in their life, the more likely they are to graduate. The least likely they are to go to prison. It's just they're just more likely to succeed.
Right.
Like you did cite, the pay is an issue. I do think that's dependent on where you live.
Okay.
Because personally, I don't have any complaints. You know what I'm saying?
But some people might.
Some people might. I also don't have a family to take care of as well. Like, it's just me.
Right.
So
Blessings.
everybody's. You feel me? At this point, I'm older now, so it's like, I am kind of starting to. Okay. It might be. It might be time to go ahead and tuck it on in, but I love what I do, and with what I'm able to see at work, it ended up pushing me into a space where I was like, okay, I think I need to do more with what I have, with my skill set. And that's something similar to yours, but with younger men. You know what I mean? With our young fellas, because they're neglected.
Oh yeah,
Our young fellas are neglected. Like it's not like how it was when we were growing up, because it was still something there.
kind of
Depending
on your people.
You feel me? But here, like they don't have anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so oftentimes when you get to talk to them, like they're still people too, but it's kind of weird to just watch them be so forgotten about and thrown away to the side by virtually everybody.
Yeah.
You know, in home and outside too.
And that breeds a lot of like abandonment issues, self-worth issues, and
absolutely.
So having somebody to just show them some love helps.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing about it is, I mean, if they don't get love at home, they'll find it somewhere else.
In the streets.
You know, in the streets is the number one place where they're starting to find it.
Oh yeah, because my bros love me.
You feel me?
Quote unquote, right?
Quote unquote. And they're getting younger and younger. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's not like these are 16, 17-year-olds who are starting out. They starting out young as 12 now.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe, and to be very honest, depending on where you are, younger than that.
Which is crazy to me.
So it would be dope if we had more black men in education in general. Mm-hmm. You know, just because, we bring something to the table that a lot of other people can't.
Right.
And I've always had people ask me like, well, what is it that you do with XYZ student? It's like, it's nothing that I do. It's just that I'm able to connect and talk to them in a way that a lot of other people can't.
And sometimes that's better.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I seen it with Savannah. She's an educator and everything, for y'all who don't know. But seeing her and like, she's like telling me about the kids. I'm like, okay, you really go in there and connect with these kids, like to the point to where they trust you enough to tell you what's going on.
Absolutely.
And it's like most teachers just go in there looking for the check, and they just want their kids to act a certain way, but you're not really pouring into them.
Yeah, you don't give them anything that they can leave with. And I mean, if you want a check, it'll be there for you. It's available, But depending on, I would say this: the more you put into it, the more you get back.
Yeah. Okay.
If you put a lot into it, you get a lot back in return.
Okay.
It's a great ROI, because at the end of the day, you see success. Okay. And I have been able to see individuals who were headed down the wrong path, and then all of a sudden they made a pivot, and they're changing the trajectory of their family, right, in general. So that's always super dope. And all it takes is one person.
They do. The black sheep of the family.
You feel me? All it really does is just take one person, to make things right for the rest of the family and everybody that comes behind them. It's just the example, the model for them, Right. But that's a little bit about me, man.
Honestly, truly, even like looking back at my story, black educators is the reason why I'm still alive today.
Man,
just those men who were like, I'm gonna teach you more.
You feel me? Let me pull you to the side real quick. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, like come talk to me.
But it's
needed.
But it makes sense though, because all it is preparation.
Oh yeah.
It's preparation for the world in front of us. And how we grew up is a little bit different than how these young men are growing up today. What I can say is that there's a lot of hope for the future. Okay. And I know that, there are some concerns, but sometimes what keeps me grounded is I think about what happened when I was their age too.
Right.
And I do think about some stupid stuff that I said or did or, posted. So I try to come from a place of understanding more than judgment. Right. Because sometimes they genuinely just don't know. They're still children.
Or they're acting out because they're not receiving something at home.
Right. Behavior is communication. You're trying to communicate something, whether you need something, want something, like you said, trying to get attention, something like that. People always will demonstrate what they need from you or what they're trying to get from you. But outside of that, man, we could talk about that all day.
Oh, absolutely.
But
there's other topics I really want to get into today.
Sure. If we had the time, man, we could sit here and do a little podathon or something like that. Because we got plenty.
Right. And so let's go back, because a lot of people don't understand what it's like to grow up in Shreveport.
Yeah.
My dad's side is from Shreveport, but I don't even understand how it feels to grow up. So I remember going there as a kid, but how was it growing up in Shreveport?
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It was pretty good. It was pretty good for me. I was fortunate. I will say that. One of my gifts and my talents that I recognized at an early age was that I knew academically I was all right.
Right.
Compared to a lot of my other peers. And I'm not saying that to brag. Mm-hmm. Like it was a definite, okay, this is something I'm actually good at.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody had their thing. Some people had sports. Some people had video games. Some people had whatever. My thing was school.
Right.
And I knew that at an early age. Now, there was a point in time where I say when I get to middle school, it's not clicking, it's not there.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I get to high school and I'm getting right back on track. So with me knowing that and understanding that kind of gave me a little space to do what I needed to do coming up. Elementary school was fine. I had both my parents around. My parents were still married to this day.
Blessings.
Yeah.
And they love each other too, bro. Tell me,
They
I seen
do,
them.
man.
I seen them interact in person. They
I'm
love each
looking
other for sure.
All right. Go find a room. You know what I mean?
As you should.
But yeah, I had my parents, man. I grew up around a lot of love, and I grew up around a lot
Which
of
is
people.
important for kids' development,
my,
for sure.
my family is massive. Like when I say massive, there are 3 sides to my family.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Of course, you have, mom and dad, but then I have my other side of the family as well. My Florida folks, my Florida people. And it's a lot of relatives on every side of that fence.
Okay.
So I grew up around a lot of people. I grew up around a lot of love. As I got older, I wasn't around as much.
Okay.
And I will say that it's something that's built into my adult life.
Of course. It does nothing but grow until you stop it.
I've grown to appreciate solitude.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't like feeling. It's not a feeling of loneliness, but I do appreciate solitude. But I had a great set of friends growing up. I played sports. I had a regular childhood.
All right.
Of course, we all go through stuff, right?
Absolutely.
But for the most part, I have nothing to complain about.
That's good.
I'm not angry at my parents. You know what I'm saying? I don't hold any trauma from my childhood or anything like that. Like I had a pretty good solid childhood. All my needs were met and some of my wants. Shreveport at the time when I was coming up as a kid, it was booming. Some places surrounding it weren't as developed yet. Okay. Shreveport was still a major hub. Like when we were coming up, I think I'd probably say when we first moved to Shreveport after my mom graduated from college. She graduated from Grambling too. You know what I'm saying? Her and Pop. Shout out. I think I was about 5, 6. I was 6. And there was so much there that left.
Right.
Like we had a Boeing plant, General Motors was there, AT&T. There was this other plant corporation called Lucent Technologies. I don't think it even exists anymore. They left or they went out of business or something like that. And then we had this other place called Libby Glass, which, gave a lot of people in the city jobs. And of course, if you've ever been through Shreveport, for the people at home, I mean, if you like to gamble, that's definitely a place you can stop. I mean, they got like 8 casinos.
Horseshoe got some good crab legs.
You feel me? And depending on where you go, man, you might get that crab leg buffet.
Hey, remember we went one day?
We did.
And dude paid for us?
And dude paid for us, man. We were in uniform that day. I remember that. We went and dude showed love. But Shreveport's an amazing place, even to this day. It's not what it was when I was coming up. And every time I do go home, I do get a little sad because there are some things that are no longer there.
Yeah.
I went home for Christmas. And I went through the mall, and the bigger mall was basically non-existent.
Really?
Like, I think it might have been a Dillard's in there, a Bath and Body Works, and maybe a restaurant or two. But for the most part, what we had, our children don't.
Right.
A lot of that has to do with politics.
That's how I feel out here, too. Growing up here, there's a lot of stuff that I remember seeing as a kid that's gone.
Yeah.
Celebration Station, like all these different places, right? Funplex ain't even popping like that no more.
And the only place you really had those memories is either in pictures or in your head.
Yeah.
And some of those memories are attached to people.
Yeah.
As well. So it kind of gives you a little somber feeling when you drive by and it's like, oh, I remember that used to be such and such place. It's not that anymore. But Shreveport was cool. I had a great school was okay. High school could have been a little bit better.
Right.
But that was because of where I went, which that is in a different space now. Like my high school's in a much better position than it is today than it was when we were coming up in school. It kind of wasn't really tended to. It was kind of just there, right? And school is what you make of it. So I tried to do what I could. I played sports. I was in FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I did that. And you know, I was honor roll still. You know, moms and pops didn't really play about grades like they did. That wasn't really an option. It
Right.
wasn't really a conversation, especially with my
Sound like
mom
my
being
house.
a teacher. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know, yeah, I didn't
Ooh.
really, yeah.
I'm so happy my mom wasn't a teacher,
Yeah,
but I'm
she
happy
already-
that I'm married to one.
You feel me? Moms knew when a report card came out. Like by the time I get in the door, she got her hand out like this. Like where is it? You know?
Oh, it's so cold now online.
Oh, hey.
Bro, the kids walk in the house and Savannah be like, I checked your grades. I'd be like, ooh.
you in
Like,
trouble?
y'all,
Yeah.
I hope they good. Because I let her do that because she is the educator.
Yeah.
But I, as the man, I'm involved in it. But I definitely got to say, you have always been one person I know who put education first.
Yeah, man. I mean, because
Even when we was
education is the great equalizer.
Oh yeah.
I know you'll hear people say, "Oh, education doesn't matter," or "College is a scam." I don't think it's not a scam at all. If we're just gonna be honest with you,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Majority of the people, you know, in this world, you know, who have achieved a particular level of success are college educated.
Yeah.
You know, education is a key. You know, and I know that sounds cliche, because you've heard it so many times, especially growing up, but it really is.
Right.
I don't think I would have been afforded the opportunities that I had if I didn't go to school. You
True.
know what I mean? That opened up a lot of doors for me. And by being younger and working through manual labor, I knew that wasn't anything that I was going to be able to do for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Were you working at Lowe's when we were in college?
I was working at Lowe's, UPS. I've done Lowe's, UPS, FedEx, Amazon.
While we were in college.
You feel me?
And was still partying.
And was in the military too. Like,
Scam.
And I was a server at a casino too. Like I stayed busy. Yeah, I definitely got to it. But you know, I got that from Pops though.
Yeah.
You know, Pops was definitely somebody who really got to it, and I watched him. And at the time, you know, when you're younger, you don't really understand. It's like you don't really understand.
Yeah. You're just going with your default of what you learned.
Right. When I got older, I realized like what he was trying to show. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate that, because there were things that he would do and it would really irk me. You feel me? But I understood it as I got older and became my own man, because it's like, oh, he was basically saying, you're gonna have to do this someday.
Yeah.
You know, and he didn't say that, but everything he did was like, I'm right there next to him as he's doing it, or he's having me do it.
Right.
You know, as I'm younger. And so me and my father, we have a great relationship. We didn't always have the best relationship. It's funny because when I was younger, I used to say that my father was a man with good intentions, with bad execution. You know what I'm saying? And I had to have some conversations. I got old. I'm like, hey, look, y'all kind of did, we didn't have to do all of that. Like, we were cool, you know. But, you know, I'm thankful though. You know, I am thankful. Because when that moment comes, when I do have my own family, there are a lot of tools that he gave me.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of tools that my mom gave me, and a lot of things that she taught me as well. You know, and I really appreciate that, because I do understand a lot of people didn't have that.
Right.
And so that does, for me, that allows me to kind of recognize a little bit of fortune in my life in that area, because I was able to take those tools and, you know, pretty much create a life for myself where I'm all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you have no choice but to be grateful for the experience, especially when you get to college. You learn people and what they've been through sometimes, and you don't know how many conversations has happened over drinks, sitting in the caf, like whatever's going on, right? And but I've watched you. Man, we both grew. We both, you know, we was always partying. We was always doing those things. But I watched us slow down and laugh and say, man, we washed. But it's more so like, no, we just matured. We let things go. And that is a part of the journey. And, man, I know it like we said at the beginning, like we've always been there for each other. There's been times where I was buckling and bro was like, pick it up. Like, get your life together, bro. It's the same thing,
like,
man.
Hey, bro, lock in, you feel me?
That's the importance of community, bro, no matter what. But I know one big thing that happened for you was losing your daughter.
Yeah.
And I remember when it happened. And it's crazy because when we were texting earlier this week and you was like, it's been 10 years, I really had to stop. And I was just like, I was like, damn, it has been 10 years.
She would have been 10. She would have been 10 October 1st. Yep. She was born October 1st, 2016. And she came early.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's a funny story. Another thing I'm fortunate for, her mother.
Yeah.
You know,
Shout out to Skylar.
My daughter's name was Leighton Marie Blackshire. She passed from SIDS. So went to bed, everything was okay. Woke up the next morning and it wasn't okay. So just that alone was, you don't know how to process that in that moment.
You don't, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't imagine it.
I remember, like, one of the things that I'm appreciative about is that I do have a very good memory. But that's also part of the problem too. I have a very good memory. So some stuff that I don't want to remember, I remember the details. You know what I mean? So first things first, before she even gets here, I go to GameStop, right? So this is when she's still pregnant.
Right.
I go to GameStop and I knew she had an appointment that day. And I was always going to the appointments. But I knew they were like quick. They were like 10 minutes, check the heartbeat, all that type of stuff, whatever. And I was just like, boom. So I'm like, I really want to go home and play this.
Right.
But I was like, I got to pass the hospital to get home. So I said, let me just stop by. Let me go to the hospital. Because I was going to be like, I've been to the rest of them. It's okay. And I thought about it. And someone said, just go. Right. Well, she gets admitted that day.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And she is a little early. Long story short, we were supposed to have a baby Monday. And we had to have an emergency C-section that Saturday.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I remember that, yeah.
Yes. So what made it even crazier is that same Saturday morning, my aunt's funeral was that morning. So my mom and my grandma are in Detroit.
Cool.
You feel?
Right.
So mom's and grandma over here, and Pops is here too. But I was looking for that. I'm looking for mama because
it's mama.
It's mama. You know what I mean?
That's that soft
You know what
space
I'm
you're
saying?
supposed to fall back
Pops is there, and I'm not, and I wasn't mad at him, but I just needed mom's there. You feel me? But as soon as she got off the plane, she headed straight to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, they had a baby. Right. You feel me? Now, what I will say is, I was very immature before I became a parent. I will honestly say that I also wasn't really home a lot in the beginning. Those beginning because I really didn't kind of understand it. Like I was like, yeah, I know I got a baby on the way, but I didn't understand like, okay, it's also time for you to be a father. It's also time for you to be a partner.
Yeah,
I didn't get that part. What made sense and what made everything feel real was the morning of.
Okay.
When they like, yeah, we finna go ahead and
get her out.
Yeah, you feel me? I'm like, oh, the baby coming.
It's happening.
And I remember they were like, "Are you ready?" And me and her in the room together, and I'm like, "Yeah." And they pull the baby out, hold the baby up, and I'm like, "Oh, that's my kid." You feel me? That was a crazy feeling because
especially when it's a girl.
Because you know how I was. I ain't having no kids. Like I wasn't doing that.
We're the same way.
You feel me? I was not I always wanted to get married, but the children was kind of like a maybe until I had one.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, I loved it. I loved being a father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even though, like, it was a lot I didn't understand on the outside.
Right.
Like, how do you not come home to your kid? How do you not see your kid? How do you not talk to your kid?
That's a question for me. How do you not see your kid?
Like I understood why some women would go on Facebook and go dog their baby daddy out. You feel me? Because them first few weeks, we tried to have like a little system where it's like your turn, my turn, or your week, my week, or my day, your day. It didn't matter.
Right.
If I'm up, you up too.
Yeah.
And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Because we all up together. So I could understand that because you're not really sleeping.
Tired.
You tired. You exhausted.
That first year and some change is hard.
You feel me? Hey, I think for us, we got her on the schedule really early. I think about that third month, she would sleep through the night. So she probably go to bed about 10, wake up about 5.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got on the schedule like really quick. We were lucky for that. But I love being a dad. You know what I'm saying?
You just like you had fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was even though it wasn't that long, I enjoyed being a father. You know what I mean? And I would say that was a life-changing moment.
Oh, absolutely.
Becoming a father was a life-changing moment.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the moment I saw her was like,
your life changed.
Oh yeah, it changed. 1, but 2, I was like, oh, we really got to be a man about this. like she's depending on you. She's counting on you. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, well, I can't fall off. Like, I gotta go ahead and lock in and get to it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely love that moment. Now, to fast forward to, you know, like you said, losing her, that was another journey in itself, which on the back end of it, I also appreciate. And I had to I try to find a silver lining in everything. There are still some questions that I have regarding that I'll probably never get an answer for.
Probably not.
But, you know, there were some things that I definitely had to go through as a person, as a human being, to pull me out on the other side of that fence. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying?
It molded who you are today.
No, for sure. Because I couldn't fix that. You know, and I'm always, you know, people come, you know, people are always trying to get me to fix stuff.
Always.
You know what I'm saying?
Always.
Everybody's trying to get me to fix stuff, and I'm trying to always fix something. And that was one thing I couldn't fix, bro. You feel me? So, you know, I wake up and, you know, my kid stiff.
Right.
You feel me? Like stiff. So in my head, I'm like, I already know. I just couldn't accept it in that moment. So, you know, boom, I call 911. They show up, go to the hospital. What I didn't know is that in Louisiana, when the child is under the age of 2, there has to be an investigation. Right? So imagine me.
Grieving.
My kid is off at the hospital, and I got to sit in my house as they walk through my house and ask me questions. If we're feeding her, is she sleeping, all that type of stuff.
Right.
Lady, I can't answer no questions
Right
like
now.
that. The craziest thing, though, one of the investigating officers that was there, she said, it's going to be all right. You can make another one. I'm like, lady, I don't want another one. I want that one.
That's mine.
You feel me? And I didn't have any more children after that because I also understood the importance of being married before I had more kids and understanding what that looked like. That is something
That's key.
That's big key. You know, and that's something I wish I would have done a lot differently. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, after they finish their investigation or whatever, it's time to go to the hospital. We go, and before I even make it, I get the phone call. So I'm kind of just there.
Right.
You feel me? I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to think.
No.
Very. Very. You know what I'm saying? And that numbness was something that I just had to sit in. And that's a really uncomfortable thing to sit in. You expect to lose granny. You expect to lose granddaddy. You expect to lose mama, daddy.
Right.
Maybe a sibling. But you don't never expect to bury your kid.
Yeah. I would have wished that on anybody.
You feel me? Can't. You know what I mean? No matter how I feel about you, I can't wish that because one, the baby don't deserve that. But two, that's a pain you can't take that away.
Right.
Because that was 2017 when she passed. Here it is 2026. And the grief is still there. It just became a lot easier to carry. Like this story is easier to talk about.
Right.
Because when the first few years after it happened, I couldn't get through it.
Yeah. I remember we didn't really talk about it much. No. But also, as a friend group, I can tell everybody rallied.
Yes. And that's why I love y'all so much, man. Nah, for real. Like a lot of people don't understand. Like when I talk about my friend group specifically, like I love my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like I love my friends, and my friends are also a part of my family as well.
Right.
You know, they're part of my circle. You know, in that moment, I remember that day after I got home from the hospital. I told people don't come over here.
All right.
I remember going home. Everything was as it was left. So it's baby stuff everywhere. You feel me?
Right.
I'm like,
I gotta see it.
I gotta see
all her
it,
stuff.
You feel me?
Right.
And so I remember just cleaning everything up. And I put it in her room. And I remember closing the door. I kid you not. Me and her mom didn't open that door, I think, for about 4 months.
Okay.
About 4 months. It was just all her stuff. Crib, decorations, clothes, Pampers, wipes. We had a lot of stuff. Like our baby shower came, people donated a lot.
I remember that.
She ain't missed nothing. You feel me? So a lot of that stuff we donated.
Yeah.
We donated. We gave away. And I told people don't come over. You know what I'm saying? I was cool, and I think people just came anyway.
Oh yeah.
People just
because that was the love that we developed, and it's crazy because a lot of us was met in college. All right, and it was the love that we developed. So people showed up. I remember Tiff showed up for sure. Yeah, there was a couple other people I can.
A lot of people showed up, bro. Like a lot of people hopped on that road. Mm-hmm. Like, and those are the moments where you realize, like, okay, you got some people in your corner, you got some people for you, because of course people are there.
Right.
But when people are there in a moment like that, like my apartment was packed for like, that was April. I don't think my apartment was packed from that point forward till I moved to New Orleans. Because I moved to New Orleans at the end of that year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So from that point on forward, somebody was always at the house. We playing the game, we kicking it, we drinking, we cooking, watching. It didn't matter. Somebody was over there. Somebody was coming. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that was something that I definitely was able to appreciate, because that wasn't anything I don't think I could have got through by myself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't think we're supposed to get through anything by ourselves, honestly. No. And that's why having a community is important, because as men, we typically go into isolation. I just want to be by myself. Like you said, don't come over. But getting that support, you realize, like, oh, I did need y'all to come over.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be very real about this topic. Another thing that I'm on the other side of the fence on is that experience, but I appreciate my friends for stepping in where some of my family didn't.
Right.
I needed a little bit more of that too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I remember, I'm not gonna put a name on it, but there was a person.
But you know who you are. I'm playing.
There was a person, right? It was actually two people. I had a lot to say. Mm-hmm. Mind you, I think my baby passes on a Friday, so Monday rolls around, we all to the funeral home, stuff like that. But that Saturday before, somebody tells me they're disappointed in me. Right? I'm thinking they joking, right?
Right.
Because my baby literally died the day before, so what are we disappointed about?
Right.
And they said because I wasn't coming around. I said, well, I don't think that was one of those situations where I don't think that people realize that I lost my baby too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to work that.
How to navigate.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to go through that. I know how to navigate that because I had never experienced that before. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, most of the time when you hear about dad is off to the side, doing whatever. But
back to work.
My boots on the ground.
Right.
You feel me? So every appointment that she was at, I was at.
Right. Intentionally. You feel me? Like even when she was here, doctor, I'm there too, because I don't know any of this. Right. And at the time I'm 24. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's going on. Right. I gotta learn this stuff. You know what I mean? So it kind of showed that a lot of people kind of held me to a different standard, even though I was just sad. Right.
Like I was flat out broke, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so it's hard for people, I guess, to recognize that in us as men, because we were expected to be the leader, but that was one place I didn't feel like leading.
Right. In some places you shouldn't have to lead.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to lead.
Well, I won't say you shouldn't have to lead. There's some times and some seasons where you have to focus more on you than anybody else.
Yeah. And I had to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to, because I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what's going on. Kid you not, I was supposed to start a job that morning.
Oh, why do I remember that?
Insurance.
Yep.
I got a job selling insurance. And I ain't going to work.
Yeah, you can't. I ain't gonna be able to focus.
Yeah, brother. Hey, look, fam. Hey, look, man. You know, I had called him and I told him, I said what the deal was. But actually, he called me because because of course I'm not thinking about that. By the time I realized that he called me and I had to tell him what it was and what was going on. You know what I mean? There are parts of me that really wish that I had that same ability to get things out. You know what I'm saying? Like her mom's could.
Right.
You know, because there was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, there's a rally around mom. You know what I'm saying? But there was like this expectation of dad. And I'm like, I don't know why y'all got expectations of me.
Right. I'm hurting too.
I want to cry. You feel me? I wake up in the morning. It's time to cry. I kid you not, man. I got people at the crib. I think we took like 6 shots We having a time. I done forgot for a minute. And then
it
hit. And I'm in the bathroom breaking down.
Yeah.
In front of people.
You can't hide it.
That's not how I do things. But in that moment, I didn't care because this hurt. Like this real pain. You feel me? And it was pain that I had to go through and I had to sit in. But it built me.
Right. Every experience is gonna build you to who you are.
That was definitely a break you down, build you up kind of experience. Because what that also set off was me moving away from home.
Yeah, you left right after that.
Because I never really lived away from home outside of college. And
that's an hour up the road.
You feel me? That's an hour up the road. And, there were points when I was in service, you know what I mean, when you're doing some training and I'm living here. Like I think I did boot camp. What I did boot camp in South Carolina. I did AIT in Missouri, in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And then when I had to go to Bolick officer school, I had to go back to Missouri for that. So
Fort Lost in the Woods.
You feel me? And they didn't even have chicken out there, bro.
Nothing.
Like, there wasn't even no black people.
We was eating Pizza Hut and Chow Hall
and
Charlie's. Yep.
Charlie's sandwiches. You know what I mean? So it wasn't even really no black people out that way. But outside of that, I never lived away from home like that.
Right.
Where I was like
full time gone.
Far, far, far. You can't really reach out and touch me if you need to. So I moved to New Orleans. It was a wild card place. Because the original plan, you know how it is. At that time, you went to 3 places. Here, Dallas, or Atlanta. You know what I mean? So of course everybody's looking at those 3 cities. But there's always a charm to New Orleans, man.
Always.
And it was still able to allow me to be in Louisiana. And that was an experience in itself because I was able to do so much, see so much in such a short amount of time. Because I lived there for 5 years. Yeah. But I was able to do a lot, bro. Like my first year moving to New Orleans, I went to WrestleMania.
I've never been to WrestleMania.
That's
right.
That was that little inner 6-year-old. You know what I'm saying? That was happy with that. When
sometimes you have to accomplish what your inner kid wanted to do
because you got the bread to do it.
Because now you got the bread to do it. You ain't gotta ask nobody now.
You ain't gotta ask nobody for it because in Shreveport we don't get those kind of events. Now we did get WWE, but it was always like on a school night or something. You know what I mean?
Parents ain't. If your parents serious about education, you're not going to no event like that.
And not even that. My people worked.
No, that too.
Like my people worked hard. You know what I'm saying? Like moms and pops both worked very hard. And so it's funny seeing them now because they're able to enjoy like the fruits of their labor, and they can afford to take their time and take some steps. Some they take when they walking,
right?
Because they just worked hard for that. They don't have to get it, grind anymore because they did that already.
Right.
And they set themselves up. So, I don't know what the future is going to look like in America in 20 years.
Right.
I don't. But you feel me? We don't know what it's going to look like. But what I do know is that my parents really gave me some tools for success. And it really set me up and they gave me a mentality and a mindset to succeed and to thrive because it doesn't matter what I've ever set out to do. I've always done it.
Right.
Like every single thing that I've ever set out to do, no matter how much I hated it, no matter, because I complain about doing something while doing it.
In the military.
You feel me? I'm not going to quit.
Right. But I'm going to talk my...
But I'm going to complain. Right. You know what I mean? Because it's just what it is. But, they gave me this never quit attitude. Yeah. Whatever it is that you...
Which is important.
Because you got to have some resilience about yourself to get through this life. Life is hard already as it is.
Exactly.
And there are days where I'm like, man, I really wish I could go back to being a kid again. Because, you didn't really have to do much.
Yeah, do nothing but show up and play.
Just show up and play, man. You show up, go to school, go to practice, do your homework, come home,
play
chill.
Games.
You feel me?
Talk to your friends, do whatever.
Be on the phone, caking, swinging your feet. I missed you at school today, boo. I missed you too.
I'll see you tomorrow.
You feel me? Don't forget to write that letter.
Right.
Know what I mean? So yeah, man, it definitely pushed me in a space where I had to become a man.
That's good though.
You know what I'm saying?
So outside of like, of course, our friend group always came together. For anybody really, it's so when you had those moments of isolation where it's like nobody was around, but those thoughts were hitting you. How did you get past those moments? How did you get over the grief? Or are you still working on it?
The grief never left. It just reshapes itself.
Okay.
Because now, like I said earlier, she would have been 10 in October. So it went from, man, I lost my kid to what would my child be doing now?
Right.
What would life look like for her, for me, if my child was still here? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It went from that. Now, as far as having to, when those moments would hit, is nothing you can do but sit in it. Because the thing was, I didn't have a lot of people with me in New Orleans.
Right.
Like, I did have a small community. Mm-hmm. I met a few good people down there too. A lot of people who took care of me, for sure. I really did. But it wasn't like how I was at home.
Right.
You know, because at home, a lot of
home
people
is home.
Home is home, and I grew up with some of them people.
Right.
Like some of the people, like, you know, I met you in like third grade, something like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We're adults now, so of course we naturally have something going on because we've been around each other for so long. We've seen each other in so many seasons, you know. So we were able to grow up like that. I just had to sit in it, and it was really uncomfortable.
That's where the growth happens, though.
It was uncomfortable for a while. I think like those first, I had to sit in it, but I tried to cope at the same time.
Cope how?
You know how we do.
Don't do.
You know how we do, man.
Back in the gap, how we did.
I'm gonna say this. I ain't miss a jump shot. I'm gonna say that. I ain't miss a jump shot at all. It was what it was. And when it came to alcohol, there had been moments where I had kind of paused. Like I would say, so she passed in April. I think for the rest of May I drank. I think I was drunk like every day in May. That's all I did was just drink.
Trying to numb it.
You're trying to forget about it.
Right.
You know, honestly, I'm trying to forget about it. I'm trying to act like this never happened.
But it's not going nowhere.
Of course not.
It's going to be back tomorrow.
Over here, you know what I'm saying? Because there's something in that house that she had used, played with, something.
There's some memory of her on it.
There's something there, you're right? There's some kind of memory there. So you can't really do that. But having people around and being able to do that, it did kind of make it a little bit, I guess, tolerable.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I took a pause. I think that June. That pause, I took a pause like for 45 days. I didn't drink at all because I needed some clarity because I wasn't sober.
Right.
You feel me? Like it was every day on the wake up, like all day. Because I also wasn't working either.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm kind of just at home, like
chilling.
I'm just chilling.
You got nothing but thoughts.
I don't have nothing but thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So I think at a point in time, I was like, okay, let me lock back in. Let me at least tap back into what the world is offering and things like that because I'm still in charge of somebody's child.
Yeah.
You feel me? Mm-hmm. So even though they gave me a little leeway, it wasn't a lot of leeway because the business still needs to be done at that time. It was like a 3-year cope.
Okay.
From I would say about the summer of 2017 to I say right before the pandemic. It was like a 3-year cope.
Yeah. Man, I remember I saw you right that weekend before the pandemic started. I came to New Orleans.
You came to New Orleans.
And that Monday they was like, shut everything down.
Shut it down. And then I think we ended up coming out to Atlanta when y'all lived out that way.
Yeah.
And we went to what was it, Blue Canteen or something like that?
Oh yeah, we started. Yeah, Atlanta never shut down. Atlanta never shut down.
I went to Atlanta. I said, damn, everybody outside.
Outside with it, bro.
Man, we in line for the Trap Museum. You know, they got the little crab spot around the corner. Yep. I'm like, okay, cool, we good. You know, it was what it was. It felt Atlanta felt like home.
It felt normal.
Atlanta felt normal, and Houston felt normal.
Yeah, we weren't shutting down.
Dallas felt normal too, because I think I had a mask on. And you know, in Louisiana, everybody had a mask on.
Yeah. I
came over here and I got a mask on. Everybody look at me like I'm the problem.
Why you got that mask on?
Why you got that mask on? I'm like, damn, it's not COVID going outside, but yeah, man. But it was definitely something that I spent a lot of time sitting with.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time sitting with it. And it forced me to spend time with other things too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So what are some positive things that you spent time with? And I really asked because I want, like I met a guy this morning who lost his daughter 3 years ago. He's still struggling. So it's like those guys who are struggling because they lost their child, like give them some practical things that they can just like spend good time, positive time with.
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. It's not really a universal positive.
Okay.
I found positive.
Right.
The only thing that I can say is don't do it alone. There's nothing you can get through by yourself.
Absolutely not.
It's not nothing good for a man to be by yourself. It's nothing. Because to be honest, bro, She passed in 2017. I didn't start going to therapy till 2021.
Which is a long time.
That's 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at that point, I started realizing how that grief started spilling over into other things. So I would say, if there's something that you can do to make that easier, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Like, I know, you know how we are about therapy, you know, but overall, that was another experience that took me to another gear.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because that was something that it wasn't conventional, you know, for me, especially, you know, for where I come from.
Right.
You going to therapy.
Psycho.
You all right? Like, you good? Like, no, nigga, I'm sad.
Right.
I've been broken inside for years.
Right.
And I'm kind of realizing it now, because you don't realize it as you're going through it. You just kind of just going through the motions. And, you know, that's how it was. Like, and I was fine. I had my own spot, my own place. Like, that's when I kind of really started teaching, like when I really got into education. Because at first it just was something to do because I found out I had a baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my first teaching job was literally, hey, I need a job. I got a kid on the way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I moved to New Orleans, it was a little bit more serious. And so it allowed me to, one, reset and figure out what is it that you want out of this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it was also an opportunity for me to experience as well. You know, because like I said, there's nobody around. Right. It's just me on an island by myself. And it was a great experience. Right. You know what I mean? I definitely got nothing but love for the 504. It was literally a great city to live in. But when it was time for me to go, it was time for me to go. Yeah. Because it is definitely a place where you can get comfortable. Yeah. You know, you can get very comfortable. I mean, you'll love it.
Absolutely.
You ain't gonna hate it. You know what I'm saying? But if you want more, it is gonna be a little bit more difficult for you to get that more there.
That's why people leave.
Yeah, it's a very slow city. It's not slow like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's slow in the sense like everybody is relaxed. Yeah. Everybody chilling, everybody good, nobody really in a rush. It really is a getaway. Yeah. You know.
Relaxation.
Yeah,
and good food.
You can definitely unwind. You know, if you need a good 72-hour reset, I always say go there.
You gotta detox after that, though.
You feel me?
Yeah, like I told you earlier, we went like a couple weeks ago, and I came back, and I was just like, I can tell I've been eating a lot different in the last couple of days than I normally eat every day.
The boy was on them beignets,
man, beignets, po' boys. I was going with it, everything. Boy, we pulled up, and in 30 minutes, I actually had a podcast interview when I pulled up. Yeah. But right after that, bro, I pulled up back to my mother-in-law's house with a big po' boy and a 10-piece wing plate.
For 13 cents.
Right?
For 13 cents, because you know the food cheap.
Fed the whole family, bro.
You feel me?
Off of that one purchase, it was about $20-$30.
Man, that's one thing I miss about New Orleans, man. You ate good. You ate good. You drank good. And you had a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
Like every time. Always something. It's always a party, always some kind of function, always something going on. You know, but there came a point in time where I was no longer interested in partying. All right. Because I tell people, I lived a full life before 30.
We were having a time for a while.
I had a blast. Right. Like, you know, there was a lot that I did. Like, I did a lot of traveling. I saw a lot. I did a lot. I accomplished a lot. So by the time 30 hit, it was like, we got to make a pivot. Yeah. And that's how we get to Dallas.
Dallas was a transition for you too. Not gonna get into that, but it was a transition for sure.
I mean, we can.
I want to go back a little bit though, because you know, you said you moved and you're making all these transitions. You know, you starting your teaching career. So did losing her like help you see the kids that you're working with differently?
No, not really, because the kids that I work with, I can see some of my classmates in them. Okay. What losing her did make me realize, though, is I'm human. I didn't feel human.
Not Superman.
You feel me? At that age, you can do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world is really your oyster. Yeah. And at that time, it was. Yeah. You know, like before.
Responsibilities.
Exactly. Before I see that pregnancy test show up positive, I'm like, it is what it is. Like, if I want to go here, I'm gonna go here. If I want to do this, like, you know what? It's the middle of the week. I want to go see the Mavericks play. Right. Yeah, I'll go book a room and make that trip. You know, it wasn't anything to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I lived a full life. I did the partying. I've done the adventures. Like I've been here, been there. So, losing her, sometimes it felt a little guilty.
Why?
Because I wouldn't have done that if she was here.
Okay. You know, you would have been more like parent first.
Parent first.
All right.
You know, responsibility first. Because the one thing my parents always prioritized was that.
Yeah.
You know, delayed gratification. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Which is important, fellas.
Which is very important. You feel me? Because you don't understand the importance of it until you actually have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, damn.
Start seeing the benefits of it.
Come on now. It's like, damn, I really want these shoes right now. But I need to hold on to this bread because I know I need to do X, Y, Z. Mm-hmm. But when you do X, Y, Z, you can end up figuring that part out, and you end up actually getting that, and also what else you wanted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's basically just kind of just, you know, prioritizing what really matters. Mm-hmm. And I would have prioritized her because that was what really mattered to me. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I had to tell people, like, you finna come over here because I ain't going outside tonight.
Yeah.
And so it went from
going out.
What's the play? Where we at tonight? To
mm-hmm.
I'm in tonight, but if y'all want to come over here, y'all can. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm at home with the kid, like it's cool. Like I'm not, because I'm not missing much.
You're not.
You gotta think,
the streets
bro.
Ain't got much, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, what was that? I got to college in 2010, graduated in 15. Come on, man. Like, you know, that was an experience in itself.
It was.
And so
Graham was a time.
And so I think I graduate, I come home. And then when I come home, it's kind of still something like that, but it's not as
easily.
It's not as easy as it was because she pregnant too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I can't go that far if I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna go do something.
Right.
And then when the baby got here, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. I got still every now and then, you know, mm-hmm. of course, you know, because her mom or my mom, you know, or my grandma or her grandma, like, where my grandbaby at?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was one of the beautiful things that I was able to see about community because we had a lot of love.
I did.
Leighton had a lot of love, bro. Like, you know, both sides of our family, because that was the first grandchild.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Well, it was my mother's first grandchild because I have siblings with pops. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that was my mother's first grandchild and her mother's first grandchild. So, you know, that was a big deal for both of them. Yeah. Oh, come on, spoiled.
Spoiled.
You feel me? And she was a good baby. So she, people didn't mind.
Yeah.
You know, even there were times where Tiff and Joycelyn would drive from Grambling, you know, in the middle of the week, like, hey, I'm finna come to Shreveport, I'm gonna watch the baby, y'all get some rest type deal. Like, we had a lot of love, we had a lot of care, we had a lot of support just through that whole process. But, you know,
takes a community.
It took a community.
It really takes a community.
It really took a community. And even with the community, I said, I totally understand why you mad at that man for giving you $200 in the last 6 months. You feel me? Because another thing that tripped me out was I didn't know how much formula was until I had a baby. I didn't know how much.
And it keep going up.
Bro, I didn't know how much any of that stuff cost because at the time, I'm thinking like a can or two maybe last you for the month. They like, bro, that can might be gone in the next 2 days.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm like, I don't want to hear that. And so I went ahead, ignored everybody what they were talking about. Mm-hmm. Bought 2 cans. I'm like, damn, I gotta go back to the store. You feel me? And at that time, this is 2016. I think a month's worth of formula was like $180.
Yeah, that's something about
right.
You
feel me? So I'm like,
because Mason was born right after she passed. And I remember that's when you went from her losing her and I went into I'm my dad.
Dad, yeah. And you have a son too.
Yeah.
So now you looking like, oh, I got a boy.
I gotta get it together.
You feel me?
You know, it really didn't hit me. It hit me when Mason was born because it was like, I'm a father. But I think in that space we had to give ourselves grace because like how you said when she first got here, you was kind of still doing your thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Eventually, a part of you knew, like, okay, I need to be at home with my child.
Yeah,
it was like that for me and Mason.
It was pretty much immediate because I can say this now because so much time has passed. I turned up the night before the baby got here.
Sound about you,
like,
or owed you,
like, and it wasn't one of those things like I purposely went to go do it. Well, okay, let me take that back. I purposely went to go do it, but it wasn't the intent. Right. I was supposed to go home and get some clothes,
right?
Which I did. But I didn't tell anybody outside of my family that we're in the hospital.
Okay.
Everybody knows that she's pregnant, but nobody knew she was in the hospital and that we were about to have this baby.
Right.
Because we still had at least a little 5 weeks to go. So my partners, they at the little spot. I pull up. Yeah. I got a fifth of 20 grand.
Whew.
You feel me?
Oh, PTSD from that one. Hold on.
Come on, man. Mind you, this is about 12:30 that morning. I don't get back to the hospital till about 5. Now, when I walk in, she's still asleep. So I'm trying to tiptoe in.
That don't work.
And I think that was like one of the few times where she just got off. And you know, she don't say much.
She don't. Skylar real cool.
She cut me deep. I mean, I gotta take it because she not wrong.
Right.
Like, bro, the baby is coming, bro. Like, she was like, is it that deep? Are you that childish? In my head, I'm like, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm 24.
Yeah, I'm real childish right now. You know what I'm saying? But it was something. When they held that baby up in the air, it was like, oh, it clicked. Mm-hmm. She ain't had to tell me.
That's the moment when it typically do click.
Yeah.
Because it's like, ooh.
She ain't had to tell me no more after that. I said, you know what, you right. I got you. And we both, you know what I'm saying? When, you know, of course, you know, when you're looking through the glass and stuff like that, you looking at your baby, my baby all twitchy and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's mine. Mm-hmm. It all made sense in that moment.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I immediately went from outside, you know, hot boy, you know what I'm saying, to pops, like overnight. And I needed that.
Right.
I also needed a girl too.
I
needed a girl first. I didn't want a girl. A lot. You feel me? I did not want a girl first. I wanted a boy, but I needed that girl first because I needed that compassion to develop.
Yeah. Because you look at women differently when you meet your daughter for the first time.
You do. You look at them completely differently. And you know, of course, you look at mom and granny, all of them. Of course. Auntie, all of them one way.
But nobody girl, tops your baby girl, bro.
It's like, boy, I'm going to hurt you over this. Like, you feel me?
Bro.
Like, I'm going to hurt you for real. You try to do something to mine.
On gang.
It automatically was like.
Playing scenarios in your head.
You feel me? I'm over here making sure, hey, go wash your hands before you come home with my kid type deal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was going to make sure that, you know, like that was already, because I had people that did that for me.
Yeah.
My parents did that for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They made sure that I was set up, made sure I was straight. You know what I mean? Now, of course, I was a boy, so things were different because I was a boy. And it would have looked different if I was a girl for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes my parents were just like, you gonna do something? And right. I'm like, I guess, you know, right. I figured out, you know what I mean? But, you know, I knew with what I had experienced with some of that, I would have never wanted that for her. Because I know I could have done more if it would have looked different. Mm-hmm. I need you to do the most as you possibly can.
Right.
You know, and that was the thing. But, you know, and it's still that. But, you know, it'll be that whenever I have another child.
Absolutely.
Gender won't matter. I don't care. If it's a boy, if it's a girl, I'll be happy.
Yeah. But you can't help to be grateful in a situation where you are having another one after losing one, because it's like, I was a parent, I lost it, but now I have another opportunity. But we always say things happen for a reason. And so with us in closing, man, like with you going through what you went through with her, what would be your advice or what would be your message to the fellas who have lost a child, or even the ones who are getting ready to be a father and are nervous about it?
For my guys who are getting ready to become parents, I would say lock in with that woman more. Mm-hmm. Be there. Because another thing, bro, I didn't understand postpartum.
Nah, at all.
I probably would have been a little bit nicer if I would have understood postpartum a little bit.
Say sorry, Skylar.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and I've apologized so many times, bro. But because I can be a motherfucker sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's there. You know, it don't come out much, but it can be there. But I would say just lock in with that woman more and just be there for her. Mm-hmm. Because bonding with her is going to eventually cause you to bond with that baby harder.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Creates a family unit.
For sure. Your spiritual side, it got to be right. You know what I mean? Stay in church. Stay in church and find a healthy outlet. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because mine was outside.
Right.
I didn't need that.
Not a good outlet. Ain't nothing out there.
Not a good outlet.
Ain't nothing open late at night besides legs and Waffle House.
I mean? And you know, I'm under a lot of stress at that age too.
All right.
I'm working buku hours. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a government slave. You know what I'm saying? True. And that's its own little mission in itself. And I'm also trying to do what I need to do at home. I would have done that a lot differently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I would say if you can stay in the gym, stay in church, stay close to your partner, and I would honestly even say get you somebody to talk to professionally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To talk you through that because it's new for you too.
Yeah.
It's new for her as it is for you. And as she's trying to navigate and figure out what her body is doing, neither one of y'all understand that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially if it's the first time, for sure.
Especially if it's the first time. You know what I'm saying? And give yourself some grace and be patient with yourself and be patient with your partner too. You know, I could leave it at that because all of those things, you know, is what God is with us anyway.
Absolutely, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
absolutely.
You know, and they say, you know, try to love your woman like Christ loved the church.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
But it's kind of what you got to do.
It's worth it though. It's hard.
It is because it's all about your long term. You know, your long term.
You got to plan for the future.
You got to plan for the future, man. You know, your kids treat you the way that you treated them, and your spouse does too.
Oh yeah, your family is a mirror of you.
You feel me? If your spouse hates you, then hey,
them kids probably don't like you.
Them kids probably won't like you either. You know, and there's nothing worse as a man growing up when your kids and your spouse hate you. Cause
that's a hard battle to battle for sure. But man, I definitely want to say thank you for coming on.
It's all good.
You know, this is actually when my very first podcast I was on was his. So this is a full circle moment for me.
5 years ago?
Yeah, we switching seats now.
6.
Well, we was remote when we did it, but we switching seats now.
Right. 5 or 6 years ago. It was in 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, I think it was like 2021. I remember. But man, you heard his story. You know, losing a kid isn't easy. Like I told you guys before, I lost a miscarriage, but he actually got to sit with his child for 6 months and create that bond. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. I remember him going through this, and I remember being there. And that's why community is important. That's why just having a good friend group who loves you no matter what is important. So don't try to do this battle by yourself, man. Make sure you find your community, your group. And it may not be people you know. You might come into a community, right? Yeah. But definitely find somebody to pour into you, even in your dark times or even people you could pour into if you haven't experienced it, right? But until next time, we will see you later. Peace.